Mr. Corey Harrison, who's coming out now into his ring. We had a fight in BKB when Eric Olsen pulled out. Simon Sinkovic was looking for an opponent. I was scrolling through my Facebook, saw Corey, sent him a message, and on 12 hours notice, he stepped into the ring. He's a man who will fight any man, anytime, anywhere, and tonight promises to be a big night for him.
Absolutely. I recognise him. I've time kept for him before, actually, down at the O2 in London, I believe it was. I think I've done a couple of his fights, to be honest, his bare knuckle professional fights.
That Simon Sinkovic fight, if you remember, you were definitely timekeeping that night. He was...
Why did it all go wrong?
Well, not quite, mate, not on your end. Went wrong for Corey Harrison, unfortunately. He was stopped in the third round of a ferocious fight, dropped multiple times, knocked out multiple teeth as well. I hope he went to the dentist and got those sorted. He's got a gum shield in, so I can't quite see now, but I remember there was a lot of bloodshed that night.
Please welcome his opponent, making his way to the red corner, Conrad Stadler.
Conrad Stadler making his way to the ring, 36 years old. He's been boxing 6 years since he turned 30. He boxes out of WCU promotion gym. He's got gloved experience and bare knuckle experience. His first 14 fights, he's got a 9-5 winning record in gloved boxing, including an 8-fight win streak. One of his losses is most recently won a rematch to avenge that loss, and his recent bare knuckle bout he won via first round knockout in less than a minute. 93 kilos, from Poland. He's been in Liverpool for around 11 years now, in England a bit longer. George, I'm sure you can correct my pronunciation.
Harry Boxing League proudly presents 5 2-minute rounds of 93-kilogram hybrid boxing action. Sanctioned by ISKA, and our referee in charge is Alan Jackson. Introducing our first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black shorts. Introducing Corey Harrison. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent, facing him across the ring, boxing out of the red corner. Also wearing black shorts and representing WCU Boxing, Conrad Stadler.
As I say in Polish, good luck. Powodzenia. How was that,
There
George?
we go. Very good, mate. Very good. You wouldn't know he's Italian.
It's taken me 3 weeks on Duolingo to learn that.
Fantastic Polish pronunciation.
Here we go. Cagey start with Harrison taking centre ring.
As I say, these two men have fought before, so they know each other well, so there is going to be a bit of a feeling out process. They'll have an idea of what each other brings to the ring, and they'll be very conscious of what went against them last time. So there'll be a moment where there'll be a little bit of them looking at each other, a little bit of them seeing and recollecting what came at them last time. So expect this to take fire in just a moment.
They both seem to hit quite hard, you know, George. Again, I'm not sure this is going to reach 5 rounds. We've only had one fight reach the full 5-round distance so far, and I'm not sure this will be one after that right hand from Stadler. The two men tussle up in the centre of the ring and collapse against the post.
And of course, this went the distance last time. Corey Harrison told me he wants to get this done inside the distance. He doesn't want to leave this to the judges, and that big right hand of his has knocked out many a foe. He'll be hoping that he can do that to Conrad Stadler tonight.
Stadler did just go to right hand to the body. You think he threw it from a little bit far out, to be honest, and left himself for a counter. 2 big body shots there from Harrison land. And tonight's been a night of body shots. They have been really hurtful.
And that's something that we haven't seen so much in the bare knuckle. You know, fighters really neglect those body shots, and they're absolutely fantastic, especially with these smaller gloves where you've got that smaller surface area. You can do some real damage to the body. And we're seeing that in great emphasis here. Oh, lovely duck under there from Corey Harrison, who looks full of confidence, brimming with confidence tonight here in Liverpool.
Both men very composed. It's not the first time on pay-per-view. I just feel like Stadler telegraphed his attack a little bit then. He seemed to wind up his backhand. He came forward with the jab, and then because we knew the right hand was coming, Harrison managed to move out the way. We're just closing in the first round now.
Tough one to score, not much being thrown by either man, but I really liked those body shots from Corey Harrison. I think those were the telling shots of the round.
Absolutely, probably a tough one to score. As he said, it's quite cagey, but Harrison's work was quite nice. Likes his defence as well.
Very interested to see if we get another second round knockout. Of course, that would be 6 in a row if they do, but these two,
wow.
they're holding up to each other's power very well. It doesn't look like there's been anything that's troubled them too much just yet. I expect after a cagey first, we'll start to see the action unfold a little bit in this second round. It's actually quite nice to have a little bit of a breather for once.
Absolutely. Harrison pacing the ring, eager to get on with the second round. Stadler in his corner speaking to his coach. Time to move now, start of the second round, and George, is it going to be this round 2 curse? We've had 5 so far.
Surely not 6, Paolo,
or
surely
6.
not. No, it'll be 6 this one.
Yes. Nice job there from Stadler on the right hand as well. Harrison took it well though. Stadler in the centre ring, and Harrison's starting to come forward now. 2 big body shots winged in, and then Stadler comes with a counter right hand over the top that lands well, but Corey takes it well. Both men taking the shots well. Bit of a cagey start now. We're in the middle of the ring. Stadler, big left hook there. Harrison manages to pivot out of the way of that.
We haven't seen so much of the clinch here tonight. We've seen that in a lot of the fights. These two men doing a traditional boxing, you know, stand-up boxing, both of them with a nice shape and style about them. I'm seeing a lot of very nice check left hooks coming in from Corey Harrison, who's using his angles really nicely, confusing Conrad Stadler and trying to catch him on the way in. But as we've seen tonight, the judges are favouring a front foot style, so Conrad Stadler doing well here on the front foot, pressuring Corey Harrison against the ropes.
Absolutely agreed. I've been a fan of Harrison's pivoting as well, as he lands a jab there on Stadler. A 1-2 sort of lands on the gloves there.
Conrad Stadler keeping his hands up very high, tight, high guards, and that's where Corey Harrison is attacking that body as those hands go up. He's finding space there around the kidney, around the liver, the punishing shots, but also finding a way with the guard being so tight, that left hook coming around the guard and catching him in that area where there's just a little bit of space.
Harrison using the upper body movement to get out of trouble there as he against the ropes, and he swings under a left hook, evades that quite nicely. Harrison does. The men tied up and the referee separates them.
Nice parry there from Corey Harrison as we get the 10-second clacker. We seem as though we are, I don't want to have the commentators curse, but it seems as though we are getting out of the second round, Paolo.
For the first time in a long time, there we are. Stadler licks his lips at the end of that second round.
Of course, 5 rounds tonight. We've got 3 left. Paolo, how are you scoring that one?
Tricky one. How would you call it?
I'm liking the front foot pressure from Conrad Stadler, but I think Corey Harrison is getting the more eye-catching shots. That left hook around the guard has been paying real dividends for him tonight. The body shots as well, that will take a little bit a wind out of Conrad Stadler's sails. I've liked his work thus far. I have him ahead.
There wasn't much in that round, as you say, and I think it was quite close. I'm excited to see how this fight develops as the men settle more and more. The first round was a bit cagey. This one opened up a bit more as we go into the third. I'm expecting some fireworks. Stadler started to enjoy himself now.
And an interesting note, I believe that's Danny Ledbetter in Conrad Stadler's corner, who's a very experienced bare knuckle fighter. He's fought absolutely everyone from bare knuckle world champions such as Dan McGraffin. He's a very experienced fighter and a man who knows exactly what to do in these sorts of fights. So I'm sure Conrad has a lot of good advice coming into this third round.
Right now there's no time for advice as they go get stuck in together again. Corey keeping composed, looking at his opponent. He's got that backhand palm open, ready to catch the shots and intercepts as they come in. Conrad pushing the action again, and as he said, George, the judges have been looking more at the front foot fighters tonight.
That could be the one here for Corey Harrison. Lands a big right hand out of almost nowhere. almost missed that shot. He's down on one knee, Conrad Stadler. He looks as though he's got his wits about him. He gets back up to his feet. It was more of a flash knockdown than anything. Corey Harrison catching Conrad Stadler.
What will Harrison do now? Will he come forward for the kill? It looks like he's going to keep composed, as a true professional does. Not get too excited, because you open yourself up to risk there.
Well, he's been on the
big right hand there.
Big shots in his past, Corey Harrison. I'm sure won't want to overcrowd Conrad Stadler. Having fought him before, he knows that this man carries power, and he looks as though he's just going through the motions here. I'm really impressed by the big men here tonight.
Absolutely. Harrison whips in a left hook, and Stadler shakes his head to say, no, that didn't hurt me. Harrison with a jab there, and the men tie up again.
Corey Harrison just measuring his shots. That left hook has been money for him all night. And a big right hand from Conrad Stadler. A big right hand. He follows up with another one, but Corey Harrison, he needs to get out of that corner.
Harrison just takes a gulp of air after the onslaught, but he stayed on his feet and he stayed composed. Takes another one on the chin. My goodness, what a chin from Harrison.
That's a good response there from Conrad Stadler. That's exactly what you want after you've been dropped, to land a couple of big shots. Remind your man that you're still in this fight, and what a brilliant third round that was. 10-8, of course. It's Corey Harrison, who could be ahead by quite some way. It depends how you score those first two rounds. It could be a draw, or it could be Corey ahead.
Absolutely, this fight is really warming up. Referee Alan Jackson there taking a breath of air, well earned, from a tricky fight with two big men around you, knocking seven shades out of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a real nice surprise. We knew this was going to be a good fight, but I'm just so impressed by the technical skills on display.
Yeah.
Corey Harrison really growing as a fighter. You know, when it came into bare knuckle initially, it was very raw, he relied a lot on his power, but he's showing some brilliant boxing skills. And Conrad Stadler, the style's gelling really nicely here tonight.
Here we are, the start of the fourth round,
Fourth round, yes.
Yes, fourth.
It's absolutely amazing that we've got this far, Paolo. I myself am losing track of this fight.
Big right hand from Stadler. As he said before, he's showing Harrison, I'm still here, I'm still competitive. You may have knocked me down, but it doesn't matter. Of course, Stadler at home, he's got two beautiful daughters, his son and a fiancée who he absolutely adores, very much a family man, and they'll be rooting for him at home.
Absolutely. And he is landing with that right hand. It hasn't quite knocked Corey Harrison off his balance just yet, but it is threatening, isn't it, Paolo, that right hand? He wants to be a little bit more subtle with it. Use that jab, disguise with the lead hand. Sometimes he's throwing those single rights, and Corey Harrison is timing a nice counter in return.
Absolutely. Harrison seems more composed to me, and he seems to have a great chin. There's some shots that Stadler's landed that have been absolutely fantastic in my eyes, but he's not seemed to have shaken Harrison.
Well, he's a tough man, Corey Harrison, and he's really showcasing his skills out here tonight. I've been so impressed by him thus far. But Conrad Stadler still in this fight. A nice spearing jab to the body, right hand over the top. That's a perfect trademark. Left to the body, right over the top. Bring that guard down. Fantastic from Conrad Stadler there.
But Stadler not feather-fisted neither. He can hit, he can bang. He's got a few knockouts to his name, and a big right hand lands there again on Corey Harrison on his chin, which seems to be made of granite.
Harrison will want to get his hands going. He doesn't want this fight to slip away from him. Not now, not after getting that brilliant knockdown in the previous round.
So right, he seems to have taken his foot off the gas a little bit, Harrison.
There's signs of fatigue there in Corey Harrison. I wonder whether or not he's starting to tire a little bit here.
Ooh, walks Stadler onto a left hook, which nearly sends him off balance. Stadler looking a little bit distressed there as he backs onto the ropes, but looking more confident as he gets centering. 10 seconds left on this round, penultimate round.
Looks like a little bit of a nick on the nose of Conrad Stadler. Sweat drenches our commentary position here. And that's the end of the fourth round.
Stadler gets the last word in that round with a big right hand that sent Harrison going backwards against the ropes.
I like what Stadler did there. I mean, he's come back from a knockdown in the previous round. He's done exactly what you need to do. Enforce your will. Remind your man that you're still there, and I think he nicked that round for me.
And you know what, Judge? We had this with our first fight. You know, one of the lads that got knocked down came back and won it in the end.
Yeah.
Bretherton against John Spencer.
And in that fight, the man that was knocked down was the man on the front foot. So, once again, maybe a repeat here, unless Corey Harrison can make this without a doubt that he's won this fight. I mean, he doesn't want this one to slip away. He said to me he doesn't want this going to the judges, and you know he's running out of time to do that.
We're in the 5th and final round here, and potentially, George, the second time we'll reach the judges' scorecards. They've had an easy night, the judges. The men embrace on the final round, and here we go.
Excellent respect there from the two gentlemen, the two heavy cruiserweights here at Hybrid Boxing League 2.
Harrison walks Stadler onto a left hook, which he catches on his right hand against his just seems to be telegraphing that right hand Stadler slightly.
When he shot that jab to the body, and then followed up with the right hand, it paid dividends, and I'd like to see him do that again. I'd like to see him use that lead hand to disguise that right hand. It is becoming predictable at time, and Corey Harrison is just expecting that one shot, coming back with a nice check left hook. It's not what you want. Left hook there, glancing off Conrad Stadler's face as we talk about that key shot from Corey Harrison.
Stadler could do with closing the show here and getting a knockdown, just to at least make it even on the knockdowns, give the judges a better chance of giving him the event. Harrison seems to have taken his foot off the gas a little bit, potentially through fatigue, and a big right hand from Stadler almost spins Harrison. Harrison gets back engaged, comes back to centre ring.
A bit of feinting there from Conrad Stadler as he looks to bait his man out and lands that trademark right hand. A bit of wrestling there. The referee will have to get involved with this one here. Alan Jackson, quite a big man actually, but looks he's dwarfed by these two big men here today.
Absolutely. Getting the chance now from the crowd as we approach the final closing minutes of the second round. Sorry, the last round, the closing seconds of the last round.
Another very nice left hook there from Corey Harrison, who was caught by a big shot. He took his eye off the ball there and potentially lost the round. I mean, this is a hard one to judge, honestly. It could be another repeat of the first fight. I thought Corey Harrison started off really well, but as the fight wore on, his gas tank lowered a little bit. But does that 10-8 round, does that nick it to Corey Harrison? We'll find out very soon.
The two men embrace. They clearly got a lot of respect for each other. Stadler there, egging the crowd on. And to be honest, George, it's quite difficult to call. I don't want to call it. I think it might be similar to the last fight that they had with each other in glove boxing, which was a close decision that they both think they won.
Yeah, I think it is a very, very close fight, and you know, and once again, it depends on what you like. Conrad Stadler was on the front foot there; he was putting on the pressure, but Corey Harrison was landing those eye-catching left hooks. The judges are just showing the cards to our MC, Bobby Brundell, as we wait for what is going to be a much anticipated decision here.
What I realised through judging with England Boxing, George, and getting the exams and passing the practical exams to be an England Boxing judge, is how much different views of the ring can affect a fight. And we've both had it before where we've watched the fight live, ringside, and then watched it back on pay-per-view on telly and had a different result. Sat around the ring in different positions, we've had different results as well. So this is going to be really close. Bobby Blundell takes the ring now.
He knows the scores. He's the only man that knows the scores besides those three judges, and he's about to tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a big round of applause for both of our boxers. After 5 rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards, where we have a split decision.
I'll go for Stadler. Go on.
Our first judges scored the contest 48 points to 46 in favour of Harrison. Our second judges scored the contest 48 to 46 in favour of Stadler. And our third judges scored the contest 48 points to 46 in favour of your winner by split decision, Conrad Stadler!
It's It's a repeat of their first fight, this time a little bit closer. Split decision, unanimous decision last time. It's the same result in a different discipline. Conrad Stadler, a split decision win here at Fusion Nightclub in Liverpool on what has been a wonderful night of hybrid boxing.
Has been fantastic so far, George. Stadler there, absolutely ecstatic. Obviously his 3 children and his fiancée at home will be absolutely over the moon with that performance as he exits the ring. Well done to Stadler, and well done to Harrison as well. I just think the pace drops a bit for Harrison, which
he'll be kicking himself when he watches back this fight. He was in almost complete control through those first 3 rounds, and then he let it slip away from him. And Conrad Stadler, he showed great activity, he showed great IQ and great heart to pull himself back from that knockdown. I'm very impressed by him. I know Polish boxers themselves have fantastic chins. We've seen the likes of Mariusz Wach, who was a notorious world title challenger back in the day. He took some massive licks from Vitaly Klitschko, and Conrad Stadler took some big licks today, and he came back firing on all cylinders.